In our politics lead, as Democrats struggle in poll after poll to connect with voters, one center-left think tank is out with a list of words they'd like to see the party cut out of their vocabulary in order to stop President Trump and Republicans in next year's midterm elections. And if Democrats are listening, here's one phrase you wouldn't hear on the campaign trail.
Climate change is the existential threat.
An existential threat to America's labor movement.
Climate crisis is the existential threat.
He loves his word. It's an existential threat. Existential. He has no idea what the hell the word means.
Here now is Matt Bennett. He's co-founder and executive vice president for public affairs for Third Way, the group that published the memo this morning. And I was telling Matt during the break, this pretty much lit up everybody's social media accounts, text messages, group chats around Washington this morning. We've heard existential threat a lot, but I want to give people some context on some other words and phrases that were in this memo. Body shaming, cisgender, holding space, incarcerated people, intersectionality, LGBTQIA+, pregnant people, systems of oppression, the unhoused. Why do you think it's a words, not a policies thing that Democrats are suffering from right now?
Oh, it's definitely both. I mean, we're a think tank. We talk about policies all the time. But I think sometimes we give short shrift to the words that public-facing Democrats, like the ones you just showed, and others, are using. And those words matter a lot. Ask yourself, if you're watching this, does anyone in your family around the table use words like this? Do you hear this when you talk to people that you went to high school with or folks you're talking to at the grocery store? People just don't talk this way. And when Democrats do, they're putting a barrier between themselves and voters in ways that are deeply alienating and really off-putting. And we thought it was time for somebody to tell them that.
Yeah, can you explain kind of how you guys decided, the origin story of why you decided to do this and what you think the impact has been throughout the course of the day?
Sure. I mean, look, the November elections were a catastrophe for Democrats and for the country, in our view. And we're doing everything we can to try to turn that around. And one of the things that we've seen very clearly is that we have lost the faith of a lot of voters that were with us not that long ago. I mean, a whole bunch of people voted for Joe Biden in 2020 and then voted for Trump in 2024. So to get those people back, we got to be clear that we cannot be alienating them on issues relating largely to culture. And the way that we're talking to them is deeply alienating. I mean, we have heard from people all day today, consultants that run focus groups and others who said, yeah, I've heard this from people. They just don't understand or like the way that Democrats talk. It's not that they're dumb. They understand what the words mean. It's just that that is not how they relate to one another. And we seem very weird when we use these kinds of words. I mean, literally no one says incarcerated persons. They say people in jail. You know, it just is, it's a very unnatural way of talking, and we got to stop doing it.
Do you think this is a generational issue? And I ask this because, you know, you talk to kind of a lot of Democratic lawmakers will say, look, my younger staff, and I'm not going after younger people in any way, shape, or form, but there is a divide, I think, between some lawmakers, some of their younger staffers, some longtime staffers, and some kind of newer generation staffers. What do you think the genesis of this moment in the party came from?
Yeah, I think some of it is age, but a lot of it is college. A lot of this stuff comes straight out of the faculty lounge at universities. I mean, no one talks about the Overton window at football games. You know, you talk about the Overton window in faculty, in seminar rooms. And so this kind of stuff gets put into the heads of young people in college, and almost everybody serving as a staffer for members of Congress and for other elected officials and for candidates, almost all of them have gone to college. That, by the way, is a problem Democrats should be addressing as well. We need a lot more people working with us who fit into the 68% of voters who don't attend college. But the fact that all of these people come out of the same kind of system and use the same kinds of language, I think, is part of the problem. The other thing is, like, these words were, and these phrases were generated in goodwill. They were an attempt to, you know, protect vulnerable people or to not harm people's feelings. We understand that. But the problem is it's doing more harm than good because it's helping the right. And those are the people that are very people attacking the ones we're trying to protect.
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out, the recognition of groups that haven't gotten enough attention, or minority groups that haven't necessarily always been raised was kind of the reason why initially. In terms of the party itself right now, who do you look to, what Democrats do you think at this point hold up as effective communicators to persuadable voters?
And we have a whole bunch of them. I mean, one of them is Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky. He talks like a normal person. It's the reason that a Democrat is so popular in Kentucky, which is a very, very red state. And he would never use any of these words. And he's very clear that that matters to his voters. They feel like they understand him and that they share his values and that he's part of their culture. And there's plenty of others as well. Senator Ruben Gallego of Arizona, he says, look, people in my district, they want a big ass truck. Like, that is how people talk, and that is how you should talk. Alyssa Slotkin, the senator from Michigan, Richie Torres. We got really good communicators, and we want them to be the ones showing others how to do it.
Matt Bennett, it was the story of the morning for sure in Washington, D.C. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.